I think we're ready. Are we ready? Ready? Ready. Welcome to UdderTwaddle.
This is episode 12.
We're at a dozen already.
Yep.
Dozen eggs.
Eggs?
We went through almost a dozen eggs for Brinner.
Yes.
It was a breakfast dinner tonight, so that makes it a Brinner. And a winner.
Yes. But completely off topic for what we're planning on talking about.
And if you haven't listened to any of the previous videos in our playlist, I'm Cow Patty.
I'm Commando.
And we are just a couple of Texas cows.
Yes.
And today we're chatting about events.
Yes.
Because it is...
the cud of the week.
We are post Gen B, which is...
For those of you that don't know what Gen B is, it is Jared's Epic Nerf Battle.
And this was number 4.
This was the fourth year for Jared's Epic Nerf Battle. It's a big nerfing event that is held here locally in Arlington.
At the Cowboys / AT&T Stadium,
Cowboys
whatever
Stadium.
they call it now.
I don't call it AT&T Stadium. AT&T didn't build it. The Arlington taxpayers built it.
So
I'm
it's
going
the
to call
Cowboys.
it Cowboys Stadium. And people complain, oh, well, AT&T has spent so much money, to put their name on it and get you to call it. AT&T hadn't paid me a dime.
I don't use AT&T, so that's fine.
So I'm not going to call it AT&T Stadium.
Anyway.
It's Cowboys Stadium.
Sidetracked.
Yes.
We met a lot of really cool people there.
Yes, but like I said, it is a big, massive event. The 3 years prior to this one, the very first one set the Guinness World Record for the largest Nerf battle.
I think they hit it every year.
The second year, they broke their own record. The third year, they broke their own record.
Did they break it this year?
No, we did not, because Jared actually set a hard limit on ticket sales.
Oh, so there couldn't be an exceeded limit. He should keep adding like 1 to the ticket list, like just to keep exceeding. It would have been funnier.
He limited the number of tickets to kind of keep the crowd size down. As it was, they sold 4,000 tickets. The event sold out.
It was pretty crowded.
There were 4,000 people on the football field where we were having, the battle.
I would say not all of them were on the field. Some of them just watched from the stands.
Well, there were some,
people of all ages. Some were just
close
spectators.
to 4,000 people on the field.
Parents that just let their kids run around crazy with announcements of, if you've lost this child, come find them in the lost and found.
Yeah, they were talking about how there were fewer people this year than last year, and that it was, more manageable and easier to move around and do stuff.
I think that it's probably meant that way to make things easier.
Yeah, but this was our first one.
And we went because, we specifically went because Commando was interested in going.
I wanted to go last year and the year before that.
And
but
the
due
day
to timing
of the event.
And stuff going on, we didn't get to go.
I remember last year, the day of the event, you went, oh my God, it was this weekend and I missed it.
Yeah,
and
I'd completely forgotten about it, like I said, due to other stuff going on.
So I said, as soon as you see tickets this year, get them, and we will go.
And we went, and it was a ton of fun.
Oh, yeah. We tailgated a bit beforehand, which we will now learn not to stand up the whole time outside the stadium before you go into the event, because you will be exhausted.
Yes.
So, yeah. 3 hours of standing before the event, and then going into the event, we were pooped by the end.
In full gear and, carrying blasters and stuff. Yeah, you get kind of tired before you even get in and start participating in the event.
Mando was decked out. We got together and crafted some helmet pieces before the event. And if you didn't see them, you can see them in our video about Jared Epic Nerf Battle.
Yes,
we posted a specific video for that.
A Gen B video on our channel. Go and check it out. You can kind of see what we're talking about, with the crowds. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it was a ton of fun.
We got to meet Captain Xavier.
Chayla Loreno.
I joined the auxiliary while I was there.
Which is a large nerfing, quote militia, of members from all around the country and around the world.
It's like a club. It's fun.
Yeah, we, kind of get organized. And there are other large nerfing events throughout the year, and they're scheduling, to get as many of the auxiliary members together for those events. Mm-hmm. The next big one that I know the captain's going to is...
Is it Ragnarok?
No, PSU, it's like Penn State University is hosting a big HVZ event.
That's Humans versus Zombies, by the way.
Yeah, Humans versus Zombies.
And we're talking like people with Nerf guns and then other people acting like zombies from Zombieland.
Yes.
Running around like crazy.
Yeah, there will, an HVZ event, there will be, typically a patient zero that starts off as a zombie. And if you get tagged or touched by the zombie, you become a zombie. You put your blaster away and you become a zombie and you chase after the humans, which have the blasters. As a human, you can shoot at the zombies. You tag a zombie, depending on how their HVZ is set up, they're stunned or out of commission for anywhere from 5 to 15 minutes, depending on, like I said, the rules set up. How many people are there, how fast and active it is. If they want them stunned for longer, then they will. And then after, say, the 5-minute limit, the zombies can come at you again.
An ideal location is a college campus or something kind of big where you can kind of spread out.
It's real big on college campuses. And, the whole point is, for the humans to survive, and they may set objectives, that you have to, complete to unlock super weapons or abilities or things of that nature. Yeah, the goal is to survive, for the duration of the event, and if there are humans still alive at the end, the humans win. If they all get tagged and turned into zombies, then the zombies win.
So it's just literally a lot of fun. The one thing I was thinking about, like nerfing events, in my retrospect of things, like people don't go do water balloon fights anymore and do like, it's almost like getting together just to have a camaraderie situation where you could just have fun. I know there's tactics involved and lots of, other things. But
Hasbro does own the Super Soaker brand, and some of the other big name, blaster manufacturers like X-Shot have, big squirt guns. So you could have a squirt gun fight instead of foam.
But you can't necessarily do that in winter. Or, not there is
winter
here.
It would be really cold, but yeah.
I do remember snowballs with ice in the middle of them. That's not fun.
But yeah, like I was saying, PSU's HVZ is the next one, and I think that's next month. And then there's End War, which is a big yearly, massively huge HVZ event I believe it's scheduled in June, and that's going to be one of the universities outside Atlanta. Love to go to that, but that would be a bit more time taken off because it's a full weekend event, 2 days. We would have to take a couple of days to drive there and then a couple of days to drive back. So yeah, we'd basically have to take a week off to do that one.
That might be a little crazy.
Later in the year, I think August is West vs. Zombies, and this year it's going to be in Utah.
Does the location change every year?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So maybe that could, if they get closer to our state, we might be okay. But Utah's a bit of a drive.
Yeah, I think it's in August, and then there's Ragnar Oktoberfest, which is in October, I believe, and I think it's in San Jose. So they're fairly spread across the country to where if you can get the time off, there's a pretty good chance you could make one of them and be within relative driving distance of one of the big events.
Yeah, and just have lots of fun with people who have a common objective and interest.
And this year we made it to Gen B because it was local, and hopefully we can plan ahead and budget things to be able to hit
some more events in the future.
Some of the bigger ones, like End War or Ragnar Oktoberfest next year.
I think it'll be fun. And this time I'll actually be prepared and have a loadout. Because I got into this because of Calmando. He's been the big collector and big interest. This has been your big interest for a while.
Yeah.
And so I just kind of tagged along, but we went to a recent local event this time it was more like for kids.
Yeah,
adults.
Joined up with the DFW Nerf
and I've got
club here locally.
Lots of footage from the local Nerf club, and am actually probably going to put that in with this so you guys can see the local Nerf club. It was a lot of fun, different games, different activities of capture the basketball or, capture and kill everybody.
Yeah, essentially. I've been trying to get her involved for well over a year now because I've been collecting for close to 3 years now. And I've kind of been trying to get her interested in
and I knew
getting
it'd be
blasters
fun,
and stuff,
and it was
just so we could practice and play around the house.
And I would watch a video here and there of stuff that he watched, and I would be amused by Xavier and other people. And I'd watch Drac and what's the other guy's name? Coop. Yeah, and okay, they're cool, they're fun, and it's really neat. So it caught my interest.
A big YouTube community for blaster modding and collecting and whatnot.
I think what really got me was when the guys at the group were like, hey, why don't you join in? Because at one point there was an uneven amount between the two teams. Mm-hmm. And I realized, okay, well, I can even it out. We've got extra blasters. I can grab one or borrow one and I can join in. And I think it sucked me in to where I realized I had the biggest smile on my face.
She realized how much fun it actually is.
It was like, okay, I stepped into a stupid Gears game and I'm like playing against, other people. And it was just a blast. I had so much fun that I was like, okay, I totally get it. I'm enjoying this. I could see us doing this for a while. I could see us enjoying and doing other other activities. And
yeah.
So yeah, when Gen B came around, I did join in. I took a lot of footage, but I did run the ground.
At that point, we had already purchased our Gen B tickets, and she was planning to go just to shoot footage and watch and.
I wanted to see what was going on and enjoy it.
After the local Nerf,
after chatting with people and talking with people there,
and as much fun as she had, she wanted to get involved at Gen B.
Yes, I wanted to be involved. I just okay, I'm in. Sign me up. I was explaining to Xavier, was like, he joined the auxiliary, but I haven't done it yet. He was like, you want to join? Here you go. And he handed me a patch. And I was like, I'm in.
Yep, it's that simple.
It was that quick. So, but events like this really do kind of bring out the kid in me. And other events out there are things that I love going to and love experiencing. Like going to Indie Comic-Con is the same thing. You ogle at all the costumes and you get sucked into the stories and, that kind of thing. And there's events like that coming up that we constantly look for. We do have a Comic-Con event coming up locally, or the Dallas Comic-Con. The Dallas Fan Day is coming up.
And that's what, next month in April, or is that in May?
Oh, it's in May.
In May? Okay.
It's the weekend before my big birthday. So I'm like, we're going to spend money there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's going to be my birthday fest.
It's very easy to spend money at a comic convention.
Oh, so easily. We bought those art panels last time we went to the recent...
My Justice League art
Justice
panels
League art
that I
panels.
still need to hang up in my office.
Beautiful. Where are they?
They're in my office. They're just not hung up yet.
Oh, yeah. Those need to go on a wall.
They will, and then
if you don't, they're going in the hallway.
We'll snap pictures and everything. Yeah, once I get my office completely set up, then we'll document some pictures and things.
Oh, you'll see them. Trust me, you will see them. And they're awesome. But
there's that coming up in May, and there's a pretty good list of celebrity guests planned for that, isn't there? I mean, there usually is.
Well, the one that originally we all went, oh my god, we're gonna go, was gonna be Jason Momoa, and then he backed out, and it just bummed.
Scheduling conflict, and that happens every year. There'll be people that are scheduled to come, and then there'll be
the first Irving fan days I went to. I signed up because what's her name, Kingsley?
Alex
Kingston was going to be there.
Yep.
And I was like, I'm gaga for River from Doctor Who.
River Song.
Love River Song.
She's fantastic.
But almost the entire cast of Back to the Future is going to be at this one. Michael J. Fox, Christopher Lloyd.
Well, she also has I say a bit part. It's an occasional recurring role on Arrow.
Yeah.
And that's why she had to cancel, is she had to go back and
film some more
and
scenes.
Do some reshoots for an episode, and had to cancel her.
I had to turn in my signing ticket.
Her Comic-Con appearance.
But they just announced 8 hours ago that Linda Carter, the original Wonder Woman, is going to be at this Dallas Fan Expo. And you were like, sign me up.
Yep.
Was that your first crush?
One of. Her and Daisy Duke.
But, okay. Beyond the celebrities and going to see them, and, you pay extra to get signed autographs, tickets, and pictures and things like that. There's, usually some panels and things going on, and I didn't mention this to you earlier, but there is a panel on Batman this year. 80 Years of Batman.
Yep.
With the creators of Detective 1000. Pat Gleason, Jason Tinian, Peter Tomasi, I might be saying these wrong, and Doug Mackney.
Okay.
It's a Batman panel. I mean, come on.
Fantastic. Let's go.
All right.
I'll go stand in line now.
What?
Uh-oh.
Okay.
What?
There is a Transformers panel.
Okay.
Peter, Colin, and Frank Welker.
Oh, hell yeah. The original Optimus Prime and Megatron.
Uh-huh. So, I think we're going to have to go to that.
Yeah.
And of course, Peter Mayhew will be there.
Woohoo, Chewbacca.
I can't do
Big
it.
Chewie.
I can't do a Chewie noise.
Nope, I don't even try.
But so I'm super stoked about that. There's other events and things coming up that we're both super excited about, which this is more of a book nerd thing.
Yes. And still a bit of, geeky, fanboy, fangirling.
Yes. I like looking for book signings. I had a book signing that I went to just myself with Charlene Harris, the creator of Sookie, before the Sookie series came out, before the True Blood series came out.
The Southern Vampire book series.
The whole Southern Vampire book series. And I got a compilation book signed by her. So my goal, personally, is to get every author in that compilation book to sign the same book. And that's my personal goal. But
well, we kind of did that with Carney Punk.
Yes. And we got quite a few signatures on Carney Punk, too. So...
Yeah. Carney Punk is another compilation book, all carnival themed stories, urban fantasy
and
stuff.
I still haven't actually read the whole thing, but
and
it was really good.
We went to a book signing at a place called Murder by the Book in Houston.
Yeah, we drove to Houston.
We drove down to Houston for the day.
It's an independent bookstore that has mystery, sci-fi, and stuff.
Okay,
mostly mysteries.
Well, we'll backtrack for a little bit of history. I stumbled across a book series by Kat Richardson, the Grey Walker series,
which is a great series.
It's about a detective private investigator, Harper Blaine, who came close to dying. Technically, kind of did die.
So she's very ghost sensitive.
Came back. Well, in the process, she touched what they refer to as the Grey, and has kind of developed these abilities, of being able to like see ghosts and dead people and cross over and so on. Well, I'd gotten into that book series and started kind of following her on Facebook and such, and found out she was part of a writers group called the League of Reluctant Adults.
And that just kind of hooked me by the title.
And we, started looking at some of the other authors and started checking out, some of their stuff. That's how we ran into the White Trash Zombie series.
Yeah.
That's where we ran into the Iron Druid series by Kevin Hearn.
I don't think Kevin Hearn was part of the League to begin with.
He was.
I
He
swear.
was. Because that's where I ran into his work. And that was the whole reason we went to the Carney Punk signing, because he was going to be there.
Well, and that's where we met Jay Wells.
Jay Wells was there.
And
Mark Henry was there. Delilah S. Dawson was there. Mm-hmm. Liliana Hart was there. She's not really part of the League, but
Stacia Kane is also part of the League.
Yes.
And Anton Strout.
We got a bunch of them, to sign our copy of Carney Punk, because they all wrote stories in it.
Yeah.
And have since started, reading a lot of Delilah's stuff, and she's incredible.
Delilah is just diverse as well, because she started writing some of the Star Wars books and a Spider-Man comic.
Yep,
and
she's writing.
She writes
she's
a
got
lot
some
of
of her own
things.
creator-owned comics that she's been writing. She's writing the new adventures of Spider-Man or something that IDW is publishing in partnership with Marvel.
But we just really got into, especially Kevin Hearn, because we've talked about him before.
Yes.
We love his Iron Druid series and listening to audiobooks, etc.
And we've talked about the new series that he and Delilah are writing. We've talked about it a few episodes ago.
It's in the world of Pell.
The Adventures of Pell. The first book was Kill the Farm Boy.
It's very Discworld-ish, and I don't know how to explain it.
It is
very fantasy comedy.
Yes, fantasy comedy, ridiculous, punny.
Yeah.
Like we said before, they take, every standard trope of the genre and flip it.
And they play with their words in the most fun way. You can tell they enjoyed writing it.
Puns and wordplay.
So there's lots of funniness to it.
Well, the second book in the series, No Country for Old Gnomes, is coming out.
It's coming out
yes.
very, very shortly. And so they're doing a book signing tour.
The two of them, Kevin Hearn and Delilah S. Dawson, are going to be at Murder by the Book in Houston.
In April.
And we're going to go.
But they just released the new book cover on Kevin Hearn's...
The book cover for Delilah released the cover today on her Facebook page, and I'm sure she dropped it on Twitter as well. And I'm sure Kevin's released it too. But it's the cover for book 3, The Princess Beard.
And it has the shadow of a centaur and a pirate ship in the back. So I'm thinking like a Blackbeard pirate princess.
Hijinks on the high seas, maybe?
Yes, I think that's possibly going to be it. So I'm very much looking forward to that.
Should be very entertaining.
If there's ever a book signing out there or some kind of cool event that you like, that you're interested in, mention it to us, because, I'm always interested in checking out new things. I hear people that go to Dragon Con all the time and other kind of cons, and I've never been to San Diego Comic-Con because there's no way we can afford the tickets.
Would love, to be able to do San Diego Comic-Con, maybe some year in the future. But yeah, there's,
maybe when we retire.
There's WonderCon, there's Dragon Con, there's MechaCon, there are so many different...
I'd even go to a My Little Pony Con or a Harry Potter Con.
Around the country. And I would love to be able to, budget and schedule time to be able to go to more of these. And hopefully we'll be able to in the future. And
is there a place to find like a central hub for cons that you can go look at?
Honestly,
I've never looked.
I've never gone looking.
It would be nice to find like a central hub for just hobbies or interests or something.
Well, you can definitely, check like some of your favorite authors or cosplayers, and check their calendar and schedule.
Notice.
And they post well ahead of time, where they're going to be.
Well, yeah, they have to, especially
because there's like
especially
New York Comic Con, and Delilah goes to Dragon Con, and
well, cosplayers have to plan ahead of time because they got to plan ahead for whatever costume they're going to prepare,
get their
and
costumes built, and everything.
That's something I've recently gotten into, like watching videos of, is watching like Adam Savage's Tested and the foam
Punished
props, yeah, is really cool. I mean, just
and Evil Ted, and just watching some of the like Kamui Cosplay's YouTube videos on cosplay, creation, with like EVA foam, Jessica Nigri's, creations with some of her costumes.
Yeah, I'm fascinated by costume making.
Stuff.
I think it's just brilliant. So I mean, there's some ideas I have. As soon as I get my craft tables together, I'm going to do some experimentation.
Well, and we're kind of coming full circle, because that's how I initially got involved in all the Nerf stuff.
Really?
Was we were planning and talking about, the local Dallas Comic Con, and going.
And you were watching cosplayers.
We were talking about potentially cosplaying and maybe doing something steampunkish. And I had seen pictures and videos on
that was the time
Facebook.
we were watching Steampunked, that show.
And yes, I'd seen, clips of videos of how people had converted like water guns into cosplay steampunk guns, with paint jobs and making the water tank look like it's a chemical tank.
And we're talking about possibly making a blaster into some kind of...
looking through for some of those videos on how to
model
steampunk, toy guns, and saw a couple of videos where a couple of Nerf blasters had been converted and steampunked. Mm-hmm. And that led to other Nerf blaster videos and other Nerf blaster videos. And here
that's
we are
really
almost 3 years later, and, with a big Nerf collection and events like Gen B. So, yeah, we've kind of come full circle
on this
of
whole
going
thing.
back into, getting interested in cosplaying and setting up some costumes. And
I've always been interested in looking at cosplay, because it's always been kind of cool and fun. Just the creativity of it, the energy it takes, the brilliance you have to come up with.
The artistry.
It is an artist. It's an art form.
Absolutely gorgeous costumes that are made out of
or just
like
props.
Fabric, plastic, and foam.
I mean, it's your creative mind that comes up with those ideas. It's you saying, I want to look like so-and-so. I want to be this character. How do I make that happen? And figuring it out.
Carving and shaping and the paint jobs.
And it doesn't have to be perfection. It can just be
You can make foam look like metal, like bone.
Yeah. I mean, and if you're wearing chainmail, you can go with like actual chainmail. You can go with plastic. You can go with crochet.
Yeah. Woven,
you can make anything look like anything if you're creative enough.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one thing I've realized when, coming back to blasters and Nerf, is watching these videos, you see the creativity people put into their products. Like they take their toy apart. They decide how does it work. There's engineering involved. There's critical thinking involved. There's how do I wire this to make this. And so you're learning, okay, well now I got to learn how to solder.
Well, and if the country wasn't so gun crazy right now,
that's the thing.
A blaster mod project would be perfect for the STEM program in schools.
Yeah,
Science,
but there would be no way that
was
happening because
you've got to understand, the science involved, the engineering.
Yeah, and if you want to, add
technology integrations for LED lights, and
add a
sound
little tick counter or something, you're like,
ammo
okay, well,
counters. Yep.
How do you pull up one of those little computers?
Little Arduinos.
Little Arduinos. And how do I program this? How do I get this to work? How do I wire this? There's a lot of critical thinking and fun things, plus creativity, because you can learn how to paint like just with airbrush. You can paint with your hand. You can paint with spray paint. You can hydro dip, paint. And there's a whole process involved with all those things.
Hydro dipping is something I'm very interested in getting into.
That looks really fun. I mean,
well, not just, for blasters. I mean, you can
videos.
hydro dip all kinds of other stuff.
Like what?
Well, I mean, some of the examples.
Don't give me ideas.
Like I said, you can custom hydro dip your phone case.
Oh yeah, you could make it look however you want.
Yeah, I've seen where people have gone through and like taken all of the plastic fenders and stuff off their 3-wheelers or 4-wheelers and hydro dip them to look like woodland camo. And
I should have thought of that before I started like weaving baskets for our like flowers in the back, because I was gonna make some random thought. This happens a lot. We were gonna plant some herbs and stuff all around our back porch to kind of keep bugs away and stuff. So I wove some basket hangers. If I thought about it, I could have hydro dipped each of those plastic buckets to make them look unique and patterned, just like our hammocks and stuff.
We still can.
That would be so cool.
We still can.
Ooh, new idea. Craft idea.
But yeah, I've seen, like, we used to watch American Chopper, the motorcycle builds. And stuff.
Yeah, those are all fun.
I've seen, videos of where they've hydro dipped the gas tanks and fenders.
You could.
On bikes. And yeah.
I'm thinking what plastic and metal and stuff is what for hydro dipping. You couldn't do glass, could you?
Well, if you can get the paint to stick to the glass,
I just don't think that would happen.
Potentially.
All right, now you're giving me new ideas. This is what happens when I watch these things.
And,
is watching all these videos and going, oh, is that how they do it? What was that process where you were showing me earlier that was like plastic molding or something?
Oh, vacuum forming?
Vacuum forming.
Yes.
I'd never seen vacuum forming before in my life.
Yeah, she had no idea what vacuum forming was.
I understood after the fact that, that's how that product was made. Like, candy molds and stuff are vacuum formed into a certain form.
Yeah,
there was a DIY project on how to make a vacuum form
table.
And I was like, my jaw dropped. Yeah. I watched that for like an hour.
It's pretty easy, simple, to make, and I may end up making one. But, vacuum forming, making molds for resin casting.
Yeah.
And that can branch out into, all kinds of different hobbies.
Oh, I was just thinking, like, when you vacuum form things, you could make candy molds.
Yeah.
In your own shapes, however you want. And I'm like, oh my God, I could make a computer-shaped candy mold.
Yep.
Or cake mold. Or, ideas.
Well, vacuum form, a cake mold and then make a silicone cast off of
that, yeah.
the vacuum form, because the plastic you wouldn't want to bake in the oven.
The silicone would be fine in the oven, but
a silicone mold,
the plastic wouldn't, yeah.
Based off the vacuum form, yeah.
Plastic's fine for chocolate because that cools at room temperature. So
yeah, and that's what I was saying is, resin casting. I've seen resin casting to make fake gems and jewels on cosplay costumes.
Yes, I saw that.
There's actually a few people in the Nerf modding community that make resin casts of blaster parts.
Really?
Yeah, like on a Strife, one of the type of Nerf blaster, the triggers, rev trigger, regular trigger, magazine release, as well as like the jam door.
Did you create molds of those? And
they created molds, and they do resin casts where you can get kind of transparent purple and blue as different colored accents, and being semi-translucent.
You could do like an onyx
colored. People will put LED lights in, so when they rev it, all of it lights up, and all of those translucent parts glow, and they look
that's brilliant,
really sweet. So I mean, resin casting and stuff like that. It transcends hobbies, and you can do a lot with it. So yeah, we've been talking about getting a bit more creative about stuff like that.
Is just amazing. I love watching like how it's made and other things like that, and we watch that a lot because how the human brain has come up with these many ideas over the centuries, and like, this is a process I'm gonna try, and it becomes tried and true, and you can like make cool things out of it. It just blows my mind. I love it. I adore it.
Oh yeah, and
it gives me ideas for things that I like to try.
Vacuum form, foam manipulation for foam armor, and all tied in with 3D printing. You can make some pretty amazing looking stuff.
When I first got into art when I was young, I got into drawing, and I can still draw. I just don't do it as much. But keep in mind, I like doing mixed media stuff. My first big art piece that was ever shown at like a museum was when I was in high school, and it was a mixed media art piece, and I wish I still had it, but it was based on a poem. And I love just mixing things and putting things together in creative ways, and I think that's a big thing with me, and I like telling stories, and I love that aspect of it. So you give me a costume that I can tell a story, I can be creative with, and do all of the above things that I like to do. Getting creative, figure out how to make things, craft things together, and make it a cohesive piece. I'm just having fun. It's not even work. It is fun. And yeah.
It's fun and functional, and it's stuff that you can take to these big events. Like Gen B, there were a lot of people, cosplayers in costume.
Ever since I saw videos of EVO foam and how people were manipulating it, I went, oh my God, that is not that hard. Yep. Oh, I got ideas.
I got ideas. For, I'm Nerf so happy. Events, for Comic-Cons and other conventions, and
that was the moment I think I realized I don't have any craft space in my office, and that's what I was like, I'm making tables.
Also works for Halloween.
Yes. Oh, I didn't even think about that aspect of it. Ooh. All right, we're gonna have some craftiness around here shortly. I'll try and take as much video as possible of these things as we make them, and how crazy we get with things.
And stuff, yeah.
And I'm fairly sure you're going to want to put together your own mod video of something at some point.
Yeah,
show what you like to do,
some
what you have fun with.
Videos coming. as well as, you know, a feature video of my current gear loadout for Nerf events. You know, the helmet and vest and
Oh yeah, we can feature that
and
if you
all
want.
of that.
I did take a before picture, and we'll probably have to take some video of how we're going to fix it later.
Yeah.
Because
You know, and
the
as
first time
you
you put it together, it's always a test run. You're like, okay, is this going to work?
as we tweak stuff, you know, like I said,
You always fix things as you go.
for conventions, you know, cosplay and stuff, then
Yeah.
we'll
We'll
keep
figure
you
something
updated
out.
on our creative projects, definitely.
Well, I hope you enjoyed either listening to or watching this video.
Yeah, just another peek into some of the crazy, you know, nerdiness that we get into.
Yeah, all the cud we chew.
Yep.
And all the things we do. And we will catch you later.
Yep. See you next time.
See you next time.